Hi there guys, and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. My name is James, and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about all the latest incomings for Reading in regards to any transfer rumours. Now, before we go ahead and get into that, we'll go into some confirmed contract extensions, which was confirmed yesterday by the club. And that's actually that Amadou Mbengue has officially signed a 2-year extension with Reading Football Club. Now, I'm very happy with this, as it wasn't really expected, to be honest. As soon as I saw Yaku Mate had left, and if we're being honest, he had championship rumours like coming in January. I wasn't expecting Mbengue to stay. Now he's 21 years old and he's someone who's got a massively bright future ahead of him. And look, I think that us re-signing Mbengue kind of does really show a little bit of a statement of intention to other clubs in the division. Now, a quote from Mark Bowen goes ahead and says that amongst undoubted interest from a number of championship clubs, I am delighted that he has chosen to stay and be a part of us and Ruben's project at Reading. And I am excited to see him continue to grow as a player and as a person with us. Now, to me, that is fantastic news, as obviously it shows that the project that Ruben Celes and Mark Bowen have got going on right now is something that players want to be a part of. Again, it's positive news, and it's something that, we haven't had as Reading fans for quite a while. I'm happy with it, to say the least, and yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say we're going up, as I've not done that throughout any video yet, but it's positive news once again, and it's good to see. Now, in terms of positive news, there's a couple of trialists / potential targets that Reading are set to be going after. Now, this comes from Darren Whitcup, who's pretty on the know in regards to any Reading news. Pretty reliable, if we're being honest, so far this summer. Now, the full quote, should I say, from his story on Twitter is that Reading are compiling a list of potential targets / trialists. Harley Dean, Charlie Savage and Chris Martin, all among the potential recruits. Players also have interest elsewhere, so no deals are close at the moment. Now, it's come out from The Sun as well that the Charlie Savage interest is actually on a permanent basis. Now, I personally wouldn't believe that just yet, as I don't believe that Reading are able to sign anyone for fees. There may be a potential where it's like Reading get it for dirt cheap and there's a sell-on clause or a buyback clause, something along them lines, but I don't feel like the Charlie Savage deal would be permanent. I feel like it would be a loan one. He's also got interest from championship clubs and also Wigan, so it may be something that Reading might struggle to get over the line, but for me it's a positive because Charlie Savage is someone that has League One experience and is someone that Man United have very high potential for. Now, in terms of his experience, it seems like last season he played a lot in the striker position for Forest Green Rovers. Now, predominantly he's been known as a defensive midfielder or a central midfielder, where you did see him also play last year for Forest Green. Now, in terms of his strengths and weaknesses, we can go ahead and see that his strengths are that he's holding onto the ball, his ball interception, his passing and his defensive contribution, whereas his weaknesses include his tackling, his concentration, his aerial duels and his finishing. Now, in terms of his aerial duels, his finishing, they're not going to be massively concerns if he's going to be playing in the centre of midfield for Reading, but the strengths is some of the positives that we like to see: holding on to the ball, his interception, his passing, and also defensive contribution. I feel like the defensive contribution is going to be key for Reading this year in the midfield, as throughout the last few seasons our defence has massively struggled. Yes, it's down to the defence, but also the midfield gives them absolutely no protection. So I think having a solid midfield is going to be massively beneficial for Reading this year. Luke Amos set to come in, Sam Hutchinson back from injury, Charlie Savage being linked with the club. I think there's a few names that I'm happy to see come in. Now, one of the names that does excite me is Harley Dean, and that's because he is a solid centre-back when it comes to defending. Previously at Brentford and Birmingham, over 300 championship games played for the man. 31 years old, so in my opinion would probably come in like a Michael Morrison type of character. Obviously came from Birmingham, was 31 years old at the time. Came in really as a solid experienced head to help out our inexperienced, or should I say our youthful back line. Now, in terms of Harley Dean's strengths here, it says his aerial duels, taking set pieces and blocking the ball, whereas his weaknesses are his passing, his tackling and his discipline. Now, I remember Harley Dean always seems to pop up with a goal against Reading every now and then. It's kind of like Jukovic at Birmingham as well. Always seems to get a goal against us. And yeah, I think Harley Dean is a positive signing. I think it's a good one. I think it's one of them ones where you're getting an experienced head that's also got the experience in the leagues, but also is still able to play. When you look at last season for Harley Dean, he did play 16 games for Birmingham, scoring 1 goal with an average rating of a 6.85. Now, I think a 6.85 is a decent rating, especially when you look at Birmingham, who are kind of fighting relegation and then kind of were a mid-table side towards the end of the season. Now, the final player that Reading are being linked with at the moment is Chris Martin, and this is someone that, look, we've had him here before, and personally, I wouldn't want Chris Martin to come to the club. No disrespect against him, I just think he's a little bit past it, and it's one of them signings that I wouldn't agree with. He's 34 years old, previously playing for Bristol City and as recently last year as QPR. 4 goals in 16 appearances for QPR last season. Look, he was slow when he came here in 2018. 5 years later, what's he going to be like? Probably a lot slower than that. Let's just take a look at his strengths and weaknesses anyway. Only 2 strengths or weaknesses. He's got 1, which is his aerial duel, which is his strength, and his weakness is his crossing. Look, in my opinion, if you're looking for someone to win the aerial battles and win the aerial duels, we've got Andy Carroll here already. Yes, having depth isn't a bad thing, but I just don't think Chris Martin should be someone we'd be looking at. Blackpool were interested as well. If he goes to Blackpool, I'm not going to be too sad. He's looked to be someone that Reading are potentially looking at as a target. Nothing's concrete just yet. It's not confirmed, but he seems to be on the list nonetheless. Now, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Just a couple of rumours flying around of who Reading kind of want to bring in, and obviously the contract extension as well. That's going to be it for this video, though, guys. Hope you've all enjoyed it. My name's been James, and we'll see you all for the next video, hopefully very soon, where we're confirming a few more transfer signings. Thanks for watching. I've been James. See you next time. Bye-bye.